Hi everybody, I'm back with another Grover. This time, it's on the Strengths Finder. So let's get into it. So just a little brief background of the Strengths Finder. So the Strengths Finder was created under the leadership of educational psychologist Donald Clifton, which is why you'll often see it titled Clifton Strengths. But it's also under the organization of Gallup, so sometimes it's called Gallup Strengths Finder. All those different names refer to the same thing. And the Strengths Finder helps us identify the areas where we have the greatest potential for building strength, and it measures reoccurring patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior. And so there's an actual test that you would take, which is a little less self-identified than the Enneagram that we talked about last week. But it does use the perspective of positive psychology, because a lot of the personality tests we see out there focus on what's wrong, what you would need to change to make your personality or your leadership style better. But the Strengths Finder focuses on what works rather than what is wrong. So you see what works and then you learn how you can build upon that. And it also gives you a lens to see your own strengths and the strengths of others using very specific names. So sometimes when you're thinking about what you're good at, it kind of be hard to put words to that. So you know what you're good at, but how do you explain that to other people? Strengths Finder gives you that opportunity. And it also helps people leverage their strengths in order to do the very best that they can. So there are 4 categories of the Strengths Finder. These are all the strengths. There's 34 of them that when you take the test you can get. And when you take the test, it'll show you your top 5. And they're by category. So there's the executing category, there's the influencing category, relationship building, and strategic thinking categories. And each of these strengths are sorted into a different category. So let's go through the categories a little bit. The first category is executing. In this category, the strengths are achiever, arranger, belief, consistency, deliberative, discipline, focus, responsibility, and restorative. So people who have many executing strengths are very passionate about motivation and energy. They're often very hardworking, and then they get things done with speed, precision, and accuracy. And their biggest strength for any of these is putting ideas into action. Likewise, they can help you turn your ideas into reality. The second category is influencing. The strengths in this category are activator, command, communication, competition, maximizer, self-assurance, significant, and woo, which stands for winning others over, W-O-O, woo. So these strengths are about your impact and influence on others. People who have many influencing strengths are able to take charge, speak up, and make sure others are heard as well as be heard themselves. People with these strengths are extremely helpful when you need to reach a broader audience or meet a bigger goal. And they tend to influence forward. So they influence others, and those people then are able to influence others, and so on and so forth. And also, these strengths kind of answer the question, how do you influence others? The third category is relationship building. This is one of the bigger categories. The strengths in this category are adaptability, developer, connectedness, empathy, harmony, includer, individualization, positivity, and relator. 4 of the 5 of my top strengths are in relationship building. A lot of people I know, especially camp counselors, have many strengths in relationship building. These strengths are about bonding and connecting with other people, building relationships. These people with a lot of relationship building strengths have an innate ability to take the human component into the equation. So when other people might be thinking about the facts or statistics, people with relationship building strengths are going to be able to talk and consider how people would feel, how this is going to impact individuals. They can look at how individuals fit into the bigger picture and create pathways for them to thrive that maybe other strengths wouldn't be able to. They make strong relational connections that bind a group together around a cause, idea, or each other. They're kind of like the glue of the group. And they answer the question, how do you build and nurture strong relationships? And the last category of strengths is strategic thinking. The strengths in this category are analytical, context, futuristic, ideation, input, intellection, learner, and strategic. The strengths in this category are about information and perception. people with a lot of strengths in strategic thinking are great at making plans and solving problems. And they can take a thought or idea and look for the best way to move forward on it, looking at more facts. If we go back and we look here, the biggest strength is putting the ideas into action. So there is a difference between the two, because these look more at facts and how the plan is going to go, and then the executing strengths help put those into action. And strategic thinkers help you make better decisions and create better outcomes. So what strengths do you identify with? Do you recognize yourself in any of these strengths? Maybe there's a category that you say, yeah, I am definitely in that category. I'm gonna guess most of my strengths are in that category. Or maybe you feel like you could be spread out among all four. And that's perfectly normal. There are a lot of people who have strengths in every single category. It's important to remember that all strengths have both positives and negatives. So yes, this is positive psychology. We are focusing on the things that are good, but there are going to be some downsides to everything, just like there is to everything in life. And if you can understand yourself better, that leads to a great understanding of yourself as a leader. So if you know your strengths, you are able to play those up in situations where you are a leader. So if you want to take the test, unfortunately, you do have to pay. I don't think it's very much. Maybe talk to your parents, because it's super helpful to get to know yourself a little better. You can talk to other people about your strengths if they've taken the test. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon.